Doesn't it feel great to be alive on a Friday Eve or a Thursday morning on YouTube as a die-hard, passionate, crazy in a good way, WWE fan or what? Hello guys, Ryan here. I am so happy you guys are here today on a Thursday or a Friday Eve. Happy Thursday, happy Friday Eve, and happy almost Friday. I have a very exciting episode ahead of us today, so let's get right down to business. Welcome back to the channel of the Ryan Knight WWE Report. So, yeah, guys, by the way, shout out to WWE Superstar Bianca Belair. It was her birthday yesterday. Hope you had a lovely birthday, Bianca Belair. Okay, so I had someone comment yesterday, and I forgot who it was. So, sorry, but they said they wanted to talk about ECW, and you know what? I actually think that's a great idea. So in this episode, we're going to discuss ECW. So just in case any of you guys actually don't know what ECW is, it is a former brand in WWE like Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown, and the founder of ECW was none other than WWE Hall of Famer and the wise man to the tribal chief of the WWE, Paul Heyman. And ECW stood for Extreme Championship Wrestling. Actually, if you ever know a former pay-per-view that was called ECW One Night Stand, it wasn't called that. It was called like One Night Stand. And then it got changed to Extreme Rules. The very first ever ECW pay-per-view was held in New York City. And believe it or not, the main event of that night was Rob Van Dam versus John Cena in an Extreme Rules match for the WWE Championship. Now remember, earlier, that was all the way back in 2006. And that year, Rob Van Dam won the Money in the Bank. And in the main event of on that night, at the first ever ECW pay-per-view, Rob Van Dam would actually become the very first person ever in the history of the WWE to hold the ECW title and the WWE title at the exact same time. That is pretty cool. And what actually was interesting about that match is WWE Hall of Famer Edge actually cost John Cena the WWE title. Therefore, a frog splash, count 3 seconds later, and Rob Van Dam made ECW and WWE history on that exact night. So pretty cool, right? Well, here's another interesting thing about ECW. The very first Punjabi prison match. Now, there have only been 3 Punjabi prison matches in the history of the WWE. The very first Punjabi prison match was scheduled to be the Great Khali versus The Undertaker. And the Big Show attacked The Undertaker backstage. And former SmackDown GM and WWE Hall of Famer Theodore Long took the Great Khali out of that match. So the ECW champion was one of the opponents to ever compete in the first ever Punjabi prison match. So what I'm trying to tell you is the Big Show attacked The Undertaker backstage at the Great American Bash in 2006, I believe, to help the Great Khali. And instead of the Great Khali facing the Undertaker in that Punjabi prison match, the Big Show did. So at the Big Show, who was the ECW champion at the time, was the very first opponent. The Undertaker and the Big Show, they were in the first ever Punjabi prison match. And what's interesting about that and the ECW is on that night when that happened, the Big Show was the ECW champion. But unfortunately, he did not win the Punjabi prison match. So, and there's been a lot. On the very last episode of ECW, before it went out of WWE, the main event on that night was WWE Hall of Famer Christian versus Ezekiel Jackson in an Extreme Rules match. Now, yes, guys, ECW stands for Extreme Championship Wrestling. And there is a WWE pay-per-view called Extreme Rules to honor ECW. And so here's what's interesting, guys. Everybody says the very last ECW champion was WWE Hall of Famer Christian. You're kind of correct and wrong. Here's how you are correct. In the very last episode ever of ECW, Christian was the ECW champion. And he defended the title in the main event on that night in an Extreme Rules match against Ezekiel Jackson. And Ezekiel Jackson ended up winning. So technically, the very last ever ECW champion was Ezekiel Jackson. But the longest reigning ECW champion was WWE Hall of Famer Christian. Now, a lot of WWE fans miss ECW, and I mean, how could you not? I mean, you know what? People say that ECW was the brand to watch when it existed. I mean, everything Paul Heyman did for ECW. I mean, Paul Heyman will always be known as the founder of ECW, and the City of Brotherly Love, which was the host of last year's WrestleMania, Philadelphia, that is the home and the founding of ECW. There is actually a building in Philadelphia that it hosts a lot of wrestling events, and that building was the home of the very first episode of ECW. So, guys, there is a lot about ECW that some people know, and a lot of people even know more. But ECW, guys, I mean, CM Punk, he was on ECW. When CM Punk won the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania all the way back in 2008. He was on ECW on that night. And a few weeks later, when he cashed in, he became on Monday Night Raw because he won the World Heavyweight title. But you know what? There's ECW history, guys. I mean, look at the Dudley Boys, the Hardy Boys, Christian, this is what is interesting to me. Look at John Cena. John Cena's been on the SmackDown roster and Raw roster, but he never was on the ECW roster. John Cena was on episodes of ECW, but he was never a member of the ECW roster and all that. So, you know what? I mean, when you think of the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, that is a pay-per-view in honor of ECW. So, yeah, I mean, you know what, guys? I mean, Brock Lesnar, when he returned to WWE the night after WrestleMania 28 and he attacked John Cena, remember, guys, Extreme Rules pay-per-view of 2012. The main event was John Cena and Brock Lesnar in an Extreme Rules match. And Brock dominated that match and ended up losing the match. So, Brock Lesnar, guys, isn't it funny that Brock Lesnar, he's been a world champion. He was never an ECW champion. Yeah, guys. So when you look at the Extreme Rules premium live event, as they call it now, they used to call it pay-per-views, but now premium live event, it's to honor ECW. So, you know what, guys? This may not really be an ECW topic, but what match is your favorite at an ECW premium? When you think of an Extreme Rules premium live event, what is your favorite match? I would love to know that. What is your favorite memory of ECW? I would love to know that down below as well. So please let me know. I would love to know. Other than that, guys, that is all I have for you guys on this edition of the Ryan Canuck WWE Report. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if there's anything more you want me to talk about. And have a great rest of your Thursday and Friday Eve. Thank you so much for watching. And take care of yourself and each other. I'll see you all in the next episode.